Johnny Depp is still waiting on his appeal after the wife-beater libel case he pursued went awry a couple of months ago, and things are beginning to further escalate as his lawyers are now claiming that his ex-wife Amber Heard lied about a $7 million charity donation. But before we jump in, hit that like and subscribe button to be notified and updated on the latest Hollywood drama and news. Johnny Depp sued The Sun after the UK newspaper labeled him a wife-beater in a major headline. For Depp, it was a libel suit he would eventually lose in November of 2020. The judge presiding over the case called the articles labeling Depp a wife-beater to be substantially true. The judge found that 12 out of the 14 instances of alleged domestic abuse had occurred. Depp's lawyers immediately called the ruling perverse, and Depp has since filed an appeal against the libel suit outcome. The ruling came after a 16-day trial in London where evidence was presented from both sides. Allegations of abuse came from both Heard and Depp in a tumultuous relationship that spanned from 2013 to 2016. The judge found that there were at least 3 separate instances where Depp made Heard fear for her life because of his alleged emotional and domestic abuse induced partly by Depp's alleged abuse of alcohol and drugs. While Depp accused Heard of severing a piece of his finger, the judge in the case declared that Heard was not responsible for the incident. The judge in this case, Justice Nicole, has said in defense of Heard, "I accept her evidence of the nature of the assaults he committed against her. They must have been terrifying." Depp's legal team responded to this ruling with both outrage and bewilderment. This decision is as perverse as it is bewildering. Most troubling is the judge's reliance on the testimony of Amber Heard and corresponding disregard of the mountain of counter-evidence from police officers, medical practitioners, her own former assistant, other unchallenged witnesses, and an array of documentary evidence, which completely undermined the allegations point by point. The judgment is so flawed that it would be ridiculous for Mr. Depp not to appeal this decision. Soon after this statement, a spokesperson for The Sun said, "Domestic abuse victims must never be silenced, and we thank the judge for his careful consideration and thank Amber Heard for her courage in giving evidence to the court." Depp initially sued Heard after her op-ed in the Washington Post about his alleged abuse went viral, a case that is supposed to go to trial in 2022 in Virginia. In response, Heard countersued Depp in August of 2020 for allegedly coordinating a harassment campaign via Twitter and by orchestrating online petitions in an effort to get her fired from Aquaman and L'Oreal. Depp's career has since suffered because of this very public ordeal, and he has recently relinquished his role in the Fantastic Beasts franchise, which has greatly angered his fans. As of today, Depp is still waiting for the verdict of his appeal that will decide whether or not he will be granted a retrial. Central to the retrial are new claims by Depp's lawyers where they accuse Heard of failing to pay a promised charitable donation of $7 million from her divorce settlement. During the trial, Heard had promised to give her divorce settlement of $7 million to the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, and the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, 2 organizations that have yet to receive a full donation. Depp's lawyers are calling this failed promise a calculated and manipulative lie designed to achieve a potent favorable impression from the outset. Depp's attorney that is leading the appeal, Andrew Caldicott QC, has centered his argument around this $7 million that they are alleging Heard has failed to charitably give away as promised. Caldicott told the courts that only post-trial, Heard only donated $100K, and not the $3.5 million which we say the court was led to believe was the true position. Caldicott cites part of the ruling from the judge on the case that says, "Her donation of the $7 million to charity is hardly the act one would expect of a gold digger." Caldicott is primarily focusing on the line from the previous trial as it relates to Heard's alleged failure to donate all of the $7 million. He explains that obviously in the context of this case, it implies that revulsion in the way he has treated her physically. Page 6 says sources close to Depp think that the judge thought she, Heard, was this wonderful human being standing up for mankind because of her supposed generosity, but she was lying out of her ass. Caldicott further argues that the judge did not acknowledge the recordings where Heard is allegedly admitting to physically assaulting Depp. Although the argument seems sound, there may be a problem as the court was not to determine whether or not Heard was a gold digger, but the trial was over the term wife-beater in the Sun headline. The Sun's defense leads, Sasha Wass and Adam Wolanski, have since countered Heard's claims by stating that Heard is still a victim of serious domestic violence, despite the alleged failed donation or her own alleged abuse towards Depp. Wass says that the position, if the judge had found, because of Mr. Depp's case, was that she hit me more than once, she was feisty and had slapped Mr. Depp as she admitted on tape, that does not disqualify her from being a victim of serious domestic violence. The defense further argued that it does not matter whether or not Heard was a gold digger, as it remains irrelevant to the case at hand. They specifically state that even if it is true that Heard was a gold digger, getting assaulted by a spouse still is deemed domestic violence where the wife-beater label remains accurate. Moreover, the defense says that the ACLU understood that Heard had pledged to pay over 10 years, and Heard has never lied about her donation. The defense calls this gold digger thesis a misogynistic trope Depp's attorneys are weaponizing. The Sun's defense ends their statement towards Depp's attorneys as they added that this appeal is to promote his position in the US, where Depp's separate trial over Heard's The Washington Post op-ed piece will be taking place. In regard to the appeal, the Royal Courts of Justice in London's Court of Appeal judges say that they will deliver their verdict in due course. What do you think the verdict will be? Will Johnny Depp be granted a retrial? And do you think Amber Heard has been lying about her donations? Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and give us a like, and don't forget to turn on your post notifications and share this video with your friends. Goodbye, everyone.